come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HASAN Daily broadcast coming to you live from Belfast, Ireland. I'm alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one. It's my last night in Ireland. Let's hear what he had to say about ILHAN OMAR and Somalis.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic.
Whoever runs a campaign on taking parasites like this and kicking them out of our fucking country, I will vote for them. I am so sick of these clowns that come here from foreign fucking countries, advocate for their own foreign fucking problems here, and then they call us racist when we say, what about America?
Yeah, famously, ILHAN OMAR's platform entirely revolves around foreign countries and not around like healthcare for all, affordable housing initiatives, things of that nature. I wonder what led you to this conclusion that ILHAN OMAR only cares about foreign countries and foreign nationals. I assume he's read all of her policies, right? He's just making a well-researched critique about ILHAN OMAR's ideology and her advocacy. That's probably what it is.
This is outrageous. This is an insult. There's no such. Islamophobia is a made-up word that's invented.
Brilliant.
To stop criticism of Islam. Phobia.
Would this guy ever debate you? Fuck no. Not in a million years would he debate me. I would love to. I've asked many times. Of course not. Because if this is the level of argumentation he's bringing to the table, it's not really going to hold up, even in the face of like just a little bit of scrutiny. First of all, every word is made up. But that's a stupid counter argument anyway. Islamophobia is a made up word to stop criticism of Islam is so stupid because you're not even criticizing Islam right now. What the fuck is Islamic about what ILHAN OMAR said here? You just saw a black woman who is Muslim wearing a hijab and you went on a rant calling her a fucking parasite, saying that she only has foreign interests in mind, and then went on a tangent about Islamophobia. I'm sorry, dude. You have to be a real fucking moron to look at this commentary and go, wow, this is brilliant. Yeah, based. You're just as racist as he is. Like, what's the argument here? It's because she said it in the video. I know, but when she's talking about Trump being a racist, a bigot, xenophobic, and Islamophobic, she's actually addressing issues that American citizens are experiencing, including her constituents, including Americans of Somali descent. You understand? The very mindset that is a foreigner issue is fucking stupid. This is the most diverse nation on the fucking planet. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. What the hell is this argument? Yeah, racism, xenophobia, and bigotry is an issue for many American citizens. Many American citizens of good conscience, but also beyond that, many American citizens of different backgrounds that get targeted this way. They're American. Unless you genuinely think that only white people are American and every non-white person is not American, this argument doesn't hold.
Islamophobia. Get the fuck out of here.
We know that he called African nations a shithole.
Because they are. They are shitholes. What are you talking about?
Once again, living in a completely destroyed home, when you have the financial opportunity to at least fix up your house, you literally live in a shithole. Says you. Is Richie's calling it a shithole while living in Texas? I mean, Texas is a wonderful state. Okay? There's plenty of nice people in Texas. There's plenty of nice places in Texas. ASMONGOLD, on the other hand, is not a nice person, nor is he living in a nice place in Texas. So you agree? Yes, I agree that ASMONGOLD is a bad person and he lives in a fucking shithole and he doesn't even need to. He chooses to, which is even crazier. In a comparison between the US and Africa, US versus Africa, it's a shithole. I love the fucking autistic semantics perverts in the chat. Actually, it is actually a great argument because in comparison to the United States of America versus Africa, it is actually a shithole. Is this a fucking argument, chatter? Are you stupid? Yes, different countries have different material conditions. Different countries that have been dominated by colonial superpowers are purposely kept down. Shut the fuck up, Hasan. I've never met a group of people so fucking pathetic in my entire life. Never have I ever met a group of people more pathetic. They just sit in the fucking chat and wait for me to click on an ASMONGOLD stream or an ASMONGOLD video of him just going on an unrestrained rant to be like, actually, he's making a brilliant point. Really, a brilliant point, dude? Calling African nations a shithole is a brilliant point? How fucking stupid are you? Yes, the continent of Africa is overexploited. It's been gutted, destroyed. The original term was the rape of Africa. Western nations played a major role in that. Simply saying these are shithole nations is not only cruel, but it shouldn't even make you feel better about your current predicament. And Ilhan Omar and politicians like Ilhan Omar are unironically fighting for your rights. Even though you're too stupid and too fucking racist to recognize that. She's one of the most progressive congresspersons in the country. But because she wears a hijab, because she's Somali, your stupid 20 IQ fucking brain cannot comprehend that a black Muslim Somali woman could be potentially fighting for your rights too. You just see that and you're primed to fucking hate. You can't see beyond the color of someone's skin. You can't see beyond the hijab that someone is wearing. Who do you think is actually fucking 20 IQ in this situation? You with your racist fantasies, assuming that people who are non-white have immediate genetic inferiority, or the guy who literally cannot even hear the words coming out of a person's mouth and analyze it sincerely and immediately brackets them into this weird fucking racial dynamic, assuming that that person is actually stupid. You're falling right into the trap. Any criticism that must be racism, weak argument, not gonna lie. If ASMONGOLD was making a coherent argument in this circumstance, and I just went, wow, you're just being racist, then sure, that would be a weak argument. This clip is literally unrestrained racism. ASMONGOLD looks at an American congresswoman and says she is a fucking parasite that must be deported. If you don't think that this level of Hitlerian argumentation is racist, then nothing is racist. Adolf Hitler is not a racist man at that point. Who's racist then? Can you explain to me what you would consider to be a racist argument? Is it just that he's not saying the N-word? Is that why we're just gonna sit here and act like this is not a fucking racist argument? This is a unrestrained, unfiltered, neo-Nazi argument, okay? What are her policies? She's pro-union. She's for Medicare for all. She's for free college education for all. Why don't you look them up before you fucking engage in this kind of idiotic narrative? You don't know anything. Excuse me. Even if someone were to call a black person the N-word, it's still not racist unless they're wearing a Klan's robe. Now, if you hear this fucking idiotic rant and you think this is actually peak intellectual, and then you hear someone like myself turn around and say, hey man, you're actually fucking sub 20 IQ if you think this is peak intellectualism here, when you just like immediately launch off into a rant about how Ilhan Omar is parasitic and must be deported instantly, even though she's a fucking American citizen and a wonderful congressperson who unironically advocates for your stupid fucking racist asses a better existence too. On a day-to-day basis, her policies, if implemented, would improve your lives no matter how fucking racist you are. But if you immediately go on this stupid ass, racist ass rant, I'm sorry to tell you this, okay? You might think that you're smarter than every black person, every brown person, every day of the fucking week. But guess what? You're a fucking moron. And deep down inside, you recognize that you're a fucking moron. and you're deeply insecure about how low your fucking IQ is. And that's precisely the reason why you lash out in this chat. You go, actually, this is a really, really solid counter argument here. You're sad, you're pathetic, and you kind of recognize that about yourself. So you have to put someone else down or entire swaths of the population down so you can maybe feel a sense of superiority. And if you can't do that, then you'll really lean into the government doing that or people in positions of power saying that. Because you're a fucking insecure loser who recognizes that maybe he's not that smart.
Islamophobia. Get the fuck out of here.
We know that he...
What are you talking about? You can see piles of bodies in satellites in the Sudan. That's a shithole. It is. It's a shithole. Like, what are we talking about?
He's so fucking brilliant, dude. Sudan, Somalia, who cares? It's the same shit. Also, how the fuck is that born out of the Sudanese? Like, yeah, they shouldn't have had gold that is endlessly exploitable so that the United Arab Emirates could fucking send unlimited weapons to the rapid support forces and fund a fucking genocide there so they can take ownership of all the gold mines in the country. You know, hey, if you don't want to be destroyed and genocided, why don't you fucking, you know, have you thought about not having any gold mines or natural resources that are easy to exploit? Yeah, war zone equals shithole. This is while he's arguing that Islamophobia is a made-up word. All people that are getting genocided are actually directly responsible for their own demise. It's fantastic.
Are we going to pretend like it's not?
Nation's a shithole in his first administration.
Based.
We know that when he came down that escalator...
Based. Fucking 40-year-old guy. Yeah, Trump is so based, he said shithole.
He said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And
he said that he stopped Muslim immigration from 7 countries at the beginning of his first presidency that got denied, by the way. And there are more than 7 Muslim countries in the world. There's like 50 something. What are you even talking about?
So it is not surprising.
Donald Trump billed it as a Muslim ban, for the record. That was his own statement. And he's still continuing to do so. He's still saying that he's going to shut down immigration from all these other countries.
That he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim.
Of course, right? It's not because of the fraud. It's not because of the wealth.
If 40 Somali people living in one area are caught doing fucking fraud, and you think that 300,000 Somali people are also doing the same exact kind of fraud, who do you think is the stupid person here? There's a welfare fraud investigation that was conducted in Minnesota. That is what these guys are using as a reason to say every Somali is parasitic and must be deported. Good luck explaining to people how insanely fucking racist this is. Good luck. You will never be able to convince these dumb fucks that they are actually engaging in a stupid line of argumentation that is devoid of all reason, all logic. When you look at an entire population of people that you bracket off of, like, you know, coming from Somalia or being American citizens of Somali descent, and you think that, oh, well, there were 20, 30, 40 Somali people that were caught engaging in welfare fraud, that means all of these people are doing it. That means all of these people, all Somali people are actually parasitic. You're just a fucking moron, first and foremost. You're racist, but you're also kind of stupid.
For levels, it's not because of anything.
Yeah, all white men are pedophilic church shooters, I guess now. That's what we're operating off of. You know what I mean? How many fucking white school shooters? How many white men get caught doing pedophilia? I guess all white men are pedophiles. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's a stupid way to argue.
It's actually because you're black. See, this is what people like this do, is that they constantly go and they fixate on identity. The fact...
That's what you're doing, dumbass. What do you mean? This argument is so fucking fried, dude. Republican president or Republican politician says all Somalis are parasitic and garbage and must be deported, and then a Somali congressperson, Somali American congressperson, right, that is also in the crosshairs, comes out and says this is racist and it's silly. And then you turn around and go, oh, why do you care so much about identity? It's like, dude, the conversation didn't start with Ilhan Omar. It started with Donald Trump. He's doing identity politics. You just fucking agree with him, so you don't actually read it as identity politics. Stop saying, is listening to Rage Baiter ASMONGOLD worth it? He doesn't even know what he's saying. He's just being racist to get views. I'm sick and tired of dumb fucks who just come in here and make this argument, okay? This is not an argument. You have to understand, there are a lot of fucking morons out there who actually do think this is peak commentary. Every now and then it has to be addressed. Holy fuck. Let's see what else he had to say about this brilliant political commentary that's coming from a place of being well-informed.
Is that nobody would be saying this if these people were contributing members of society. Nobody would be saying, some people would be saying it, but I wouldn't be saying it.
Really? So all Somalis are non-contributing members of society. Do you have any evidence for this beyond the fact that you just kind of think that way? Also, you're not a contributing member of society. What the fuck have you done? What have you done? You don't even leave your fucking house. You just sit in your fucking moldy ass, dusty ass house and talk about how all Somalis are non-contributing members of American society. It seems that's what you're doing. He invented the rat alarm clock. It's true. It was a wonderful invention.
The fact is that these people come to the country, they live off of our benefits, they are net negatives to the country, and we are subsidizing.
Explain why they are net negatives. Explain why they are net negatives. Please present one argument. Please, why are 300,000 American citizens of Somali descent net negative to the country? Please, explain. Explain what you mean, okay? Please. They're taking advantage of welfare is not enough, okay? There are far more white people that are taking advantage of welfare than fucking the Somali Americans. And the welfare is marginal regardless, and it should be given to all regardless. And it should be far more expansive than it currently is. But if you're talking about whether or not someone is a benefit to the country, you have to make an argument as to why they're not. Because every Somali migrant that comes to the United States of America and gets a citizenship, that goes to school here, that gets a job here, is a productive member of society. Are you saying that every single American citizen of Somali background is actually jobless? Is that what you're saying? Like, what is the argument? Why do you think they are a net negative? Yes, I think ASMONGOLD is a net negative to American society. I do believe that 100%. I sincerely believe that ASMONGOLD and people in ASMONGOLD's audience that hold ASMONGOLD's worldview or defend ASMONGOLD's positions are unironically a net negative to America. If I actually hated America in the way that people claim I do, I would probably do ASMONGOLD style commentary. I would actively shift people's attentions away from the real vectors of power and the people that actually harm them, the people that actually control society, back to vulnerable populations and, you know, black people, brown people, Somali people, and collect a fucking paycheck and laugh my way to the bank every fucking day of the week. That's what I would do. If I actually hated America, I would be a Republican. I'd be a right-winger. I would constantly tell you, no, it's not the super wealthy that's at fault here. Come on, don't be stupid. It's the Somalis. Or rather, I would say it's the Somalians.
Their lifestyle so they can live here and complain about it. It's ridiculous. This is a ridiculous insult to the country. And no other country in the world should ever expect to put up with this. You would never get away with this.
Once again, the underlying premise is that Somalis are a net negative to the United States of America. And yet there has been no evidence presented to explain why they're a net negative to the United States of America. Not one at all. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. He's just hoping that you understand exactly what he means. And the only way you arrive at that conclusion, by the way, is if you have the exact same worldview. If you do also personally believe that they're net negative because they're fucking black and they're Muslim. That's the underlying premise here. He's not saying it out loud because there isn't anything that he can possibly say There's no actual proof. And it's not like he's hiding his actual opinion. He just keeps saying, this isn't racism, it's just facts.
You wouldn't get away with this probably in Japan even. You wouldn't get away with this in Saudi Arabia. You wouldn't get away with this in Russia. You wouldn't get away with this in, like, I mean, there's probably some European.
What are you saying? Get away with what? Get away with what? Letting people into the country? Yeah, Japan is incredibly xenophobic, so much so that they're actually killing themselves. But first of all, Saudi Arabia also is the most idiotic fucking country to actually present, because most Gulf nation states actually have more immigrant workers that they basically fucking enslaved than they have nationals. If you knew anything about any country at all, you would probably know a little bit more. You would know, you'd be able to try to present another argument. I cannot believe how much these guys fucking think this guy is brilliant. I can't understand it. This is the longest ASMONGOLD video I've ever watched about something that is supposed to be about policy, about what to do. Abusing social safety nets, I guess he means they're not abusing social safety nets. There are some who actually get social safety nets or some support from the government. But ultimately, the notion that every American of Somali descent is actually abusing social safety nets here, and that's why they came to America, and that's why they're a net negative without any evidence whatsoever, is just pure, unfiltered, unrestrained, unrestricted racism. That's it. Is it really that difficult to comprehend? If you look at, like, I don't know, 10 people of a marginalized group, if you look at 10 people of any background and then assume that every single person is exactly like that, well, you're kind of fucking stupid. You're not a very intelligent person if that's how you're doing analysis. Another clear-cut sign of having unimaginably low IQ is when you present no argument whatsoever and just lean into your established preconceived biases about an entire group of people. There's no argument here. There's no argument that Americans of Somali descent are actually a burden on the United States of America. None whatsoever. He's not even attempting to find an argument where he'll like cherry pick data or something. He's just simply saying it. It's just his feelings over facts. No facts necessary, just my feelings. It's just common sense. It's just based.
Countries you would, because they have the same problem that we do. But in a general sense, a lot of these countries, like you go to Vietnam, you wouldn't get away with this. This is outrageous. The level of entitlement that these people have is just unbelievable.
Every country on the planet, with the exception of more repressive ones, will allow its citizens to criticize the government. Minnesotan Americans of Somali background who are American citizens have every right to criticize the American government. If you don't fucking like it, you can leave. You can go to a country where they're not allowed to criticize the government. Why don't you do that? It's one of the things that I love about America, as a matter of fact. It's one of the things I like about America more than China, as a matter of fact. You are un-American. If you hate diversity, you're un-American. America is the most diverse nation on the planet. One of the most redeemable qualities of the United States of America. If you hate diversity, you can get the fuck out. Go live in Japan. Well, you'd probably be diverse there. Go live in Poland. You're a white guy. It's a very white country. Actually, I wouldn't wish that upon Poland. I take it back. I'm sorry. To my Polish chatters, I love you. And I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. And Poland is far from my worst enemy. Okay? The point still stands, though. America is the most diverse nation on the planet. If you don't fucking like it, you can leave. Another incredibly redeeming quality of the United States of America is that you, at least for now, have the opportunity and the right to be able to criticize the government. As a matter of fact, you can do it even if you're not a citizen, for the record. Free speech protects all, citizens and non-citizens alike. That's a beautiful thing. I like that. That's an American thing. It's actually very different than any other country on the planet. How expansive our First Amendment protections are. If you don't like it, you can fucking leave. Go to a country that doesn't have that kind of protection. But this one does.
Yeah, the level of entitlement that these people have is just unbelievable. It's crazy.
But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says
for now.
We are nationals of this country.
for now. Yeah, again, pathetic, weak, insecure for now. Leaning on the government to do harm to random people, including congresspersons. This is a power fantasy. For now. One day we'll get our fucking revenge. One day we'll get the government to actually denaturalize you. It's a power fantasy for weak, low IQ, hateful monsters.
We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have
Big mistake, by the way. Should have never made them citizens.
not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming, and we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
No, just undo it. Just undo it. Yeah, that's it. Well, free handouts, deport them? Yep, doesn't matter to me. Absolutely.
Deport him. American congressperson, by the way. Free handouts, deport him. Yeah, deport him. Yeah, based. Yeah, how about we deport you, bitch? The fuck? Didn't you catch a ban for the Rick Scott tweet? Why does he get to say similar hatred towards a government official? Well, ironically enough, I wasn't even saying that, like, you know, I wasn't saying what people claimed I was saying. I was actually talking about how the Republicans would have to punish Rick Scott if they actually cared about tackling Medicaid and Medicare fraud. He's just straight up saying we should deport this congressperson. Now, I will explain to you why it doesn't read in the same way. It's because he's leaning into the president saying that. One, most Americans don't think deportations are violent because they usually don't have an immediate family member that has experienced a deportation, so they can't conceptualize it as a violent act. That's number one. Number two, when the president is saying shit like this and you just demand more of it, well, it comes across as a little silly if Twitch is like taking action against someone who's just simply repeating what the president is saying, right? This is the problem with normalization. This is the problem with the bully pulpit. This is the problem with Donald Trump utilizing the bully pulpit in this way. When the motherfucking president is saying this stuff about ILHAN OMAR, of course Twitch streamers are going to say this kind of stuff about ILHAN OMAR, and what's the platform supposed to do? If Hasan says something comparable, the entirety of the internet's bot farms would be mobilizing to get him permabanned, but because it's admin, Twitch just doesn't give a fuck. It's not just that. There's also a more sophisticated campaign here as well. Whenever something happens, obviously Reddit bots immediately fucking spam it into oblivion, as opposed to like those very same botters downvote whatever fucking thing that comes out about ASMONGOLD. It's not an accident that like ASMONGOLD's worst moments like this, which are very commonplace, are rarely ever plastered all over subreddits. It's because anywhere where ASMONGOLD is mentioned, it's an automatic downvote. You're receiving an automatic fucking 3,000 downvotes instantly if there's any sort of critical video or any sort of critical coverage of ASMONGOLD anywhere around Reddit. It is pretty fucking easy to manipulate this stuff. It's the same with Twitter. Obviously, Twitter is super right-wing anyway. So yeah, he is he's completely devoid of scrutiny. Yeah, the other side of the story is that, yes, liberals also work alongside his audience and target me with regular frequency. Most of the time, liberals don't have an issue with ASMONGOLD's commentary. A lot of liberals on the internet, rather. Not like actual liberal voters. Actual liberal voters take one look at this guy and are horrified. But I mean like liberal content creators, or at least self-described liberal content creators on the internet, are actually perfectly fine with collaborating with right-wing figures, including people who I would say are presenting themselves as far-right like ASMONGOLD. I mean, this is the most straightforward neo-Nazi style commentary I've seen from him yet. Last time I saw something as closely resembling Nazi sentiment was when he said Palestinians are an inferior culture and deserve to be genocided. He wants to collab with Nick Fuentes too.
Nick still wants to do a stream with Asman, calls him a common sense guy. Oh, what a nice guy.
Basically nominate you for Streamer of the Year, Alex. Also, if non-political questions are allowed, what were your favorite video game releases 2025? All the best to you. Rooting for you from Finland.
Yeah, ASMONGOLD has been...
Hey, ADL. Shouts out to the fucking ADL, baby. Up my asshole the entire fucking year, baby. Hey. All of the fucking liberal Zionist, Jewish advocacy groups. You did it. Been up my fucking asshole for the last 2 years. Here you go. That's the largest political commentator in North America. The largest political commentator on the same fucking platform that the ADL and all these other institutions were trying to get me deplatformed from.
We got to do a stream. Does he want me to reach out to him?
I think that we might have to wait till next year for that one. I don't know if Twitch is ready for that one yet. Now, I will say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But I don't know if when is sooner than later.
They should focus on the Mamdani tracker, you know?
I know the position that I'm in.
I feel like he's like the #1 streamer in the world. So I was like waiting for him to like, but maybe I'll hit him up because I really want to collaborate. I don't want to get him canceled though. So if he doesn't want to do it, I totally understand. But maybe I'll hit him up this week and see if we could set something up if he's into it. But ASMONGOLD, he seems like a very honest guy. Seems like he has a lot of.
I'm too honest. That's the problem. Is I just say what I think. That's the big issue. And sometimes what I think is something that's really crazy.
Integrity. I know he's not. Yeah. I don't even think he's extremely right wing. I think he's just kind of.
I don't like illegal aliens in the country, and I don't like us sending money to Israel. I want us to kick out all the illegal aliens and the people that are mooching off our government that aren't even citizens here. I want to just kick them the fuck out. Get them out. That's what I think. Yeah. How about that? Is that right wing? I feel like that's common fucking sense.
Like me, I'm ideologically right.
Yeah, except when he says, I want to kick all the illegal aliens out of the country, here he's talking about deporting every Somali American from Minnesota. 90% of them are American citizens. So what the fuck happened? So I guess when he says illegal aliens, he means, you know, a group of people that happen to be American citizens too. He's talking about revoking the citizenship of an American congressperson of Somali background while fantasizing about collaborating with Nick Fuentes, an open neo-Nazi. Not that the word holds any fucking power anymore because Israel kind of blew their fucking load on yelling at every single person that is a decent human being that saw what Israel was doing and thought it was unconscionable. They just basically fucking diluted the term anti-Semitism so much that virtually no one thinks anyone is anti-Semitic anymore. And they're still doing it. They're like calling fucking Miss Rachel an anti-Semite. Spent 2 years calling me a fucking anti-Semite. Oh, good luck. Good job. You did it. Now actual anti-Semites are just going to be seen as normal people who hate Israel, right? Oh, it's just common sense.
Wing Catholic.
I was raised. I had communion.
Strikes me as someone who's just common sense. He agrees with a lot of the common sense things we talk about. He's not a psycho leftist like these guys like Hassan Piker that are. I think they treated him like shit over the years. He, like a lot of people, I think just saw what the radical left really was.
A bunch of nutballs.
But anyway, so maybe we could collaborate.
Matthew P. sent $25.
It's not a...
Remember, Ethan Klein, who was Jewish himself, spent the last 2 years collaborating with this guy with endless attacks against me. He even went so far as to say, oh, I don't think ASMONGOLD is like, you know, a Trump supporter or something. He's like a pretty reasonable guy. You should ask every fucking remaining Ethan Klein fan how he feels about this in his conquest against anti-Semitism. Where's the fucking context new for ASMONGOLD, Ethan?
Matter of if, but when. I just don't know if it's going to be soon. That's the way I see it. And, you know, I know the position that I'm in.
He made Casey trying to apologize to that guy.
Worst? Yeah, I think so. And settled in Minnesota, so they're settlers? I guess so, right? And because you had the best benefits? Yeah, of course, because Minnesota's giving them money. And it's very fucking obvious, isn't it?
What is the... Wait. What do you mean Minnesota's giving them money? Like, what is this argument? Why Minnesota? They're settlers? Like, none of this shit makes sense. I can't even make sense of what he's trying to say here. What's the argument?
I feel like that's clearly what's happening. And anyone can be a citizen now, a way to devalue it. I mean, it's not really about that. It's just about a general sense of these people coming into the country and then being a drain on the country. Like, it's literally that simple. So, people try to turn this into a race and a religious thing, and I'm sure for some people it is, but for me it's not. It's you're coming in here, you don't like the country, you want to change everything, you want it to be more like the shit.
Somali GDP is around $12 billion. Somalis have an estimated $8 billion impact on the state's economy. Somali Minnesotans generate at least $500 million in income annually. They pay about $67 million in state and local taxes. It's extra crazy because ASMONGOLD was on government handouts his entire fucking life. He was on food stamps and shit. And I have no issue with that, for the record. I have no issue with anyone that needs government assistance to be able to get government assistance. Like, the argument here is also incredibly stupid because, like, the Somali population isn't even undocumented. They're American citizens, right? And the notion that they're coming to the United States of America to take advantage of the fucking safety nets is so stupid because the undocumented population can't take advantage of the safety nets anyway. So he's wrong on that front as well. And the states with much larger undocumented populations are states like California and states like Texas, states like Florida. Why the fuck aren't they all going to Minneapolis to take advantage of these social safety nets that are apparently bountiful for every undocumented person? None of this makes sense.
If you came from, and it is a shithole, by the way. It's absolutely a shithole. You don't even have Google Maps on there. Like, it's a fucking PvP server. And now you come here and you bring the same...
Okay, you can't say that in Texas, man. Like, that's crazy. That's a crazy... Dude, you're in Texas, brother. I know you don't go outside too much, but you are in literal fucking Texas. That's the ultimate PvP server. What are we talking about? The entire American server is a PvP server. Texas is like, you know, hardcore difficulty. That's wild.
Ideology, the same shit here, and people do a protest in Michigan and they're getting assaulted. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's what, wait, oh, he moved on to Dearborn now. Now he's saying that people in Dearborn, Michigan. I wonder why he brought up Dearborn. Remember when he was saying Islamophobia is not real? It's just, you know, people don't want you to criticize Islam. Interesting. What is your criticism of Islam in this situation? First, you say a Muslim, black, Somali background, American citizen congresswoman is a parasitic person who needs to be deported. Then you talk about how all of these other African nations are actually shithole nations, and people are coming from these shithole nations to leech on our social safety nets with no evidence whatsoever. And then you turn around and you start talking about Dearborn, Michigan. It's just all, it's all tying to this grand narrative, but it's just common sense, right? It's just fucking common sense, dude. You don't get it.
I don't know what, like, I hate these people, bro. I really do. Like, they come to our country and do this shit. And then they call us racist as if the problem is your skin color. No, it's what you're doing. It's outrageous. The level of manipulation. And I'm glad to see that very few people are still buying into the racism wool over their eyes. Oh, well, we're not going to listen to this. And, it's not that bad. No, man.
Guy on the tail end of a 5-minute and 20-second, no evidence, all fucking pure facts, riddled with generalizations rant about the inferiority and the parasitic nature of the Somali, turns around and goes, oh, and then, yeah, they just say you're racist. They have no argument. I presented, I think, a pretty solid argument as to why this is a racist rant. The reason why it's a racist rant is not because it hurts my feelings. The reason why it's a racist rant is because it's entirely about ASMONGOLD's feelings. Okay? It's pure fifi, no fact. And it's actually insulting to the intelligence of the average racist that's tuning in to listen to this kind of commentary, because you're basically assuming that they're too stupid to actually investigate, that they'll just take whatever you're saying at face value, and many of them do, because like I said, being racist is an unimaginably low IQ trait. Let's be fucking real. But if your entire argument revolves around your own personal feelings and your fears and your anger and resentment around perceived slights and entirely made up issues about a population of Somali Americans taking advantage of social safety nets because you saw one example in the fucking news as of late where there was like a handful of Somali people that were investigated for, what was the actual fucking fraud too? Was it welfare fraud or Medicare fraud? Ultimately, you use a lot of words to basically say, I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't want them here. I mean, he did literally say that. Pretty much. I don't know how to explain this other than I'm going to be as blunt as I possibly can. A Somali refugee lives in the living standards that he or she lives in because of colonial domination and a tremendous amount of destabilization, right? Whether it be the IMF or the World Bank that has absolutely gutted the economy, destroyed it, implemented austerity measures, and the government hasn't functionally existed for like the better part of the past decade. You, on the other hand, are in the top 1% of wealth in the wealthiest country on the planet. And the reality of the matter is, the average Somali refugee in your living circumstances would probably actually improve their living conditions tremendously, as opposed to the living conditions that you live in, that you choose to live in currently. What's your excuse? That dude's living in a country where there's no working sewage system. You don't have a working sewage system in your house in fucking Texas. And on top of that, you're super wealthy. It doesn't make any sense. Bring a guy from Somalia into ASMONGOLD's house, and he will literally change that house in under a week, okay? He'll be living like a fucking god in that house. He'll clean it up. He'll fix it up. He'll make a family there. You know what I mean? You choose to live like you're living in a fucking refugee camp. It makes no sense. And then he just sits around and says, oh, these guys are fucking, they're losers. They're inferior. Not inferior to you.
Like, nobody gives a shit about that word anymore. It's so obnoxious. Aren't they racist too, though? Of course they're racist. They're
Someone in his chat was like, aren't they racist, though? We should bring them here. We like that. We need more racists.